Oh, it's good to be back. And it's good to be back on camera, too. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Warframe Wednesday. So, my fellow Warframe rookies, there was one among you that was actually asking me some questions about whether or not a particular Warframe was actually worth the effort to go through and get. We're about to explore his options and explore his abilities right now. Today's target, if you didn't quite guess the hint that I left on Twitter, which if you're not following me there, it should be a lot easier to find me since I've unified pretty much all of my names across social media. So look for me on Twitter at Blazin Ace Nelson. No G. Just Blazin. It wouldn't allow me enough characters to fit the whole thing. Anyway, today's target is none other than the Rainbow Dragon himself, Chroma. Now, of course, Chroma's not the one that's up on screen right now. But Chroma is the one who's next up on the docket.
Unread inbox messages make me ill.
Okay, so I got 3 field drawn from that invasion. Now let's get us loaded up and ready to rock and roll. Now, Chroma, as I said, as far as visual design and Chroma's abilities, they're all based off of, well, his overall design motif is, of course, that of the dragon. But more so, when you think about the name, you'll find something interesting about how you can actually play Chroma. Oh, but before we even go to the relay, let's talk about how you can pick up this bad boy first. Chroma is once again, much like Mirage, Limbo, and a few others, Chroma is a warframe that you can pick up through one of the in-game story quests. That one being the completion of the New Strange. Now,
Stand by
even though
while I analyze the
you can
intelligence
pick up the
profiles of the
main
leader. Error,
you pick up the
not
main
reliable.
blueprint for Chroma
Didn't
through
operate
completing the
until
New
this
Strange,
system.
but if I remember correctly, yeah, over the course of that quest, you also pick up his component blueprints as well. But hey, since I'm a rookie, just like y'all, I haven't got everything, excuse me, memorized. So, I'm going to take just a quick I'm going to take just a quick moment to actually make sure I look it up and got it correct because I would prefer to make sure I got the right information for y'all. So yeah, you get Chroma's main blueprint from completing the New Strange. His component blueprints, you actually get you'll actually wind up getting them as you play through the star chart and complete certain junctions. So, as you complete junctions moving later on throughout the game, or at least throughout the solar system, you'll get Chroma's Neuroptics from completing the Uranus Junction. Oh, wait, no, don't want to do that. You'll get his chassis from Neptune. And you'll get his systems from Pluto. But even though you get those blueprints, it's going to take some doing to actually put them all together, because there are a couple of blueprints that you actually need. Sorry, a couple of components you'll actually need from different warframes. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the relay so that way we can get started going over Chroma's abilities. Excuse me. Come on, you. I need you to load. And there we have it. Ooh, alright, me. Alright, so first off, let's go over Chroma's passive ability. And this one is intriguing. Again, I mentioned pay attention to the name. Chroma has to do with color. And this Warframe's unique passive ability is all based on his appearance. When you go into the emissive color section, when customizing your Warframe's color palette, notice the icon next to emissive that only Chroma has, no one else. In changing the emissive color on Chroma, you can literally change what this Warframe's default element is. So as you could probably imagine, certain reds are fire, yellows are, yellows would be electricity, greens would be toxin, ice, the whole 9 yards, the whole gamut of elemental effects that you can get in this game. You can use the color palette to access them as Chroma's base element. See, changed it to a white. Now he's an ice dragon. Change it to a blue, we got electricity. Stuff that's closer to red is, of course, going to be fire, much like Chroma's default. Let's see, looks like our greens are going to be toxin. Let's try yellow. What's the yellow going to be? Yellow's going to be another fire, but you get the idea. Now, the great thing about being able to change Chroma's color like that and change his element is that no matter what kind of gear you're running with, you'll always be able to customize Chroma on the fly without changing equipment, mind you, and tailor him to the specific enemies that you're going to be facing off against. I mean, sure, all Warframes, like all of the Warframes in this game, are viable and are customizable, but being able to actually tweak Chroma's base element based on his color, it adds another layer of it adds another layer of customizability to your tactical loadouts. So let's go on and jump in with the punching bags, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Chroma's first ability right out of the box, Spectral Screen. Basically, it's Dragon Breath. Toggle the ability once, that turns it on. Chroma runs around spitting that hot fire. Tap the ability again to turn it off. You change up the emissive color, and of course, that's going to change up the element of the spectral screen. So once again, even if you're going in with a loadout of your favorite weapons that are not quite the element that you're looking for, then all you gotta do is pop in and change the color. Check it out. It's lightning breath now. And boom. It's done. Pretty straightforward. It's I mean, if I had a decent flamethrower, then I'd be pairing that with Chroma, no question. But then there's also just the simple fact that, well, I look at Chroma basically like he's a Power Ranger, but you'll see more about that later on. Chroma's second ability once you hit rank 3 is Elemental Ward, and once again, the Elemental Ward is going to be affected by the color that you changed him to. Because what that's going to do for you is well, what that's basically going to do is not only is it going to generate a not only is it going to generate an elemental field around you, the damage is negligible, but it's more for pushback when you actually use it. But also, you and any of your squad mates, depending on what element you have Chroma attuned to based on his color, you'll get additional defense against that element. Give me just 1 second. Sorry, I gotta keep an eye on my phone for a lot of important stuff that's supposed to be coming down the pike too. So, anyway, with that out of the way, when you hit rank 5, that's when you get Chroma's third ability, Vex Armor. Now, Vex Armor is it's an interesting ability. It's a solid defensive ability. because it all depends on your shields and your health. If you take damage to your shields, then what winds up happening is that you get a defensive boost. You know, your armor rating goes up. Your armor gets tougher. But if you wind up taking damage to your health, like say via, slash or toxin damage, then your offensive capabilities go up and your weapon damage gets increased. It's one of those where it's a good idea, like when you know you're going to be going into something like a boss fight, or when you're going to be taking heavy fire from turrets or from heavy gunners. Cast the Vex Armor. That'll give you a little bit more survivability and give you some breathing room in order to actually carry out whatever strategy you need to either counter or escape. Chroma's ultimate ability, once you get him to rank 10, Effigy. You see this bad boy up here? That dragon with the energy wings, spitting the fire and all that good stuff? That's Chroma's armor. He sheds its armor to have it transform into a dragon. How cool is that? Actually, you want to know what that reminds me of? Actually, I should probably change that. There we go. But yeah, you want to know what that particular ability reminds me of? You remember the old Ninja Turtles action figures back in the mid to late 90s? The one, you know, the ones where they each had armor that you could actually take off and assemble into like an animal companion for each of the Ninja Turtles? That's basically it. And of course, I mentioned the whole Power Ranger thing because, well, look at this guy. Outside of his armor, does he not look like some kind of deep space futuristic Power Ranger? Wait, where'd everybody else go? But anyway, when you cast Effigy with Chroma, what it does is, yes, of course, it summons that dragon from his armor. Without that armor, of course, your defenses do take a little bit of a hit, but Chroma's more agile, and on top of that, you saw the little pulse field that came out from underneath it? That right there is basically, again, another AoE field that generates constant damage in addition to the fire breath coming from the armor, which can of course be modified based on Chroma's color through his elemental attunement. So what you'll basically have for yourself is a turret that's great for setting up choke points, that's great for setting up defensive perimeters around various targets, or even more so, a defensive perimeter around yourself while you're trying to heal your allies. And if you've got weapons that are firing off a different element anyway, cast the Effigy, then start laying in with gunfire or melee. And you've got yourself status stacking and elemental damage stacking for days. Now, before the reworks, before the reworks that hit Warframe, self-damage was actually a thing. Like you could, and I have done this multiple times in the past. You've probably seen it when I've streamed the game. But there have been points where you could mess yourself up pretty bad with certain explosive weapons. But now, self damage is the thing of the past, which is unfortunate for a lot of Chroma mains. Well, somewhat unfortunate, because, a lot of folks would actually take advantage of the self damage in order to beef up your Vex armor to ridiculous levels. But now, strategies have got to change up. I would suggest looking elsewhere for those advanced strategies because, all I'm here to do for you is show you how to use the guy and show you what he can do. So if you've got the Warframe unlocked, or if you wound up getting the pieces for his Prime variant, you'll have a good idea going in what you can do with him and what to expect. With that being said, as with every other Warframe on this listing, it's mission time. Speaking of other Warframes, if you're keeping an eye on the YouTube channel this morning, our episode from last week was posted with all pertinent information for you in the description. So, if you're looking at learning how to use Saren, jump over to the YouTube. You can jump back to last week's episode. So let me double check to see if I have a layout with Chroma that doesn't involve, well, that doesn't have any mods on it. As a matter of fact, I do. So here we go. Unmodded base stats, base abilities. We're going to roll through and give Chroma the old once-over. But if you've got any questions regarding what I've shown you today, please, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to ask in the comments. If you're here watching the stream and you've got an interest in the Warframe or in the game in general, then I'm all ears.
Eliminate all previous threats.
Amalgam technology. It's beautiful. Experience it. One death at a time.
They'll have plenty of robotics. Corpus never fight for themselves.
My intel suggests there are rich and caches in the area, but I am unable to pinpoint their exact location. Such support if you are willing to shoulder the added risk.
Ooh, that's what I could do. I know exactly what I could do. The great thing about the Vex Armor, let me find one of those exhaust ports. Crap. Give me a sec. There we go. Okay, check it out. Exhaust port. Load up the Vex Armor. There we go. Took that damage on purpose. Why? To beef up my armor and my weapon damage. So if you're going to be focusing on any sort of gameplay that revolves around using the Vex Armor, or at least, you know, trying to overload your Vex Armor for that additional buff, do keep in mind it's high risk, especially for newer players.
Decided you were bad for business.
Now, keep this in mind, y'all. Keep this in mind. Fire damage causes your enemies to panic. Like, fire damage causes your targets to panic. When they're panicking, they're too busy running around. Well, they're too busy running around to shoot you. Now, unfortunately, I'm in a little bit of a tight spot because I've got a group of enemies coming after me, and I'm relatively low on energy. So I've got to play this smart. Apparently, I didn't play it smart enough because that just wasted all of my remaining energy. Okay, new tactic. If I'm gonna drop these guys, I have the sword at the ready. Ooh. Oh, I still haven't got all of them yet. Let's see. Okay, that should have bought me a little bit of time. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Looks like some of these jokers have a little bit of fight left in them. Let's fix that. Hello, hello, my name is Chroma. I'll be taking all your lunch money today. Alright, up we go.
We've got robots inbound.
That we do. And you know what? If I had been thinking about what mission I was choosing for it... Hey, what's up, Brian? This is indeed where the vidget is at. But yeah, just showing off what the Red Ranger can do. Okay, we got more hostiles up ahead. Ooh. And one back here. Oop, that's enough out of you. We'll chop you in half.
For the Lotus.
Stop that. Oh, he's a flyer. I see where my problem is. Gotcha. There we go. I'll let that boy do some work. Now the only problem here Now, the major problem with Chroma, or at least the major problem that I have, is, of course, when you're talking about default stats, when you cast something like the effigy, it's a constant drain on your energy. So you've got to, number one, have enough to cast it in the first place, and then have enough to actually maintain it. Not necessarily the easiest thing in the world without mods. Get down from there. One sec. Sorry, my little helper over here is barking at people. One sec.
Another successful mission. Extraction.
Operator? Ordis wonders, what are you thinking about?
Yes, it seems I was muted this whole time. Oh my god. I really need to keep a better eye out on. I really need to keep a better eye on my mic's mute button. I think I was probably muted this whole time. Oh, not this whole time, just. Yeah. Okay, so I wound up muting the mic when my dog started barking. And I forgot to unmute it. That's what happened. Hopefully the closed captioning was working and you guys were still able to at least read what I was saying. Ah, welcome back. Welcome back to my streams, everybody. Technical difficulties and hilarity ensue. But as I was saying, though, when it comes to modding Chroma, you are definitely going to want to. You're going to want to make sure that you can make his abilities last for as long as possible and that they are as cheap as possible. Because all that is really going to do for you is just. It's going to make your life easier when using this guy. And of course, if you ever manage to get your hands on Rage or Hunter Adrenaline, cop those. Those mods are, frankly, two of the best that I could think of when it comes to keeping your tail in the fight. Alright, let's see if there's one more that we can add that's gonna. Let's see if there's one more we can add that'll really spice things up. There we go. Endurance Drift.
Excellent armaments, operator. Please return.
Covered in blood.
So, we're going to go through run that exterminate mission one more time with those mods on and give you a bit of a look at what Chroma can do when he's fully kitted out. Dog. Why you gotta be a woofer? Yeah. Little guy's looking at me like he's in trouble. You know you're not in trouble, buddy.
Eliminate all purpose threats. My intel suggests there are enemy supply caches in the area, but I am unable to pinpoint their exact location. Search them out if you are willing to shoulder the added risk.
Okay, that's a supply cache. Alright, let's give this a go. There we go. Let's get those traps out of the way, and... hello. The rest of these guys' lives is going to be crap dipped in misery. Oh, 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 oh. Well, that was a thing. Anything over here that could prove useful? I did all that for nothing. For nothing. Oh, oh. Make that turn. There we go. Yeah. Ooh, light. Kind of blinding. Okay, where's that one? Oh, he's still flying off in the boonies over there. Dang it, didn't shoot him fast enough. Alright. Time to break out old boy. Now let's see what happens when I go empty the clip mode. Oh my god. Well, that was fun. Alright, whoever was up there poisoning me, that was a bad idea while I had this armor up. There we go. When all else fails, DACA. And more DACA. There we go. Stay down. Okay, who's over here? Oh, I think I might have goofed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I goofed. I was on fire for a few moments. Fun times. You know what? Let's not worry about that. Let's just hurry up and get this mission resolved so that way we can get out of here. Hello. Ooh. I have a flamethrower too. Oh crap, I triggered one of the traps. It's a gas trap. That's going to continue to suck for the foreseeable future.
And now, Betrayers, for something completely different.
Alright, let's clear this alert. There we go. Yeah, let's not leave those guys alive, huh? There we go. There we go. We'll just let those guys burn for a little bit. And done. Well, either way, I'm all about opening up those munitions lockers because anything useful could be found in there. Oh. There we go. That's that.
Fought with honor.
I still got 24 enemies left. Thought I would have gotten through more of them by now. Let's fix that.
Found the first resource cache. I'm detecting 2 more faint hints.
Ooh, that was a lot of damage to my armor right there. That I could have probably absorbed and made use of. Oh, wait. We got some folks back this way. Come here, you. There we go. Get down from there.
Let's go on the offensive.
Jerk. So, yeah. Note to self, keep the armor up. Even if it doesn't look like there's anyone in the area, keep the armor up. It's going to prove to be more helpful than not. And if nothing else, it couldn't hurt. Oh no, no, get off that alarm. Stop that. Okay, this is the way I came back from. Nope. Alright, 2 more to go. Ooh, that's gonna come in handy. And Yahtzee.
Broken their ranks and they are on the run. Another successful mission. Find extraction.
Okay, so if extraction is back that way, then I should probably go this way if I want to find some extra goodies. Am I right? Okay, I'd say it is long since past time for me to make tracks. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we'll drop that. Okay, is this one that I've read before? Yes, it has. Get blown up. Anything else left in the area gets the dragon. But we're done. Alright, a couple of longer missions than I expected, but that right there is Chroma in a nutshell. There we go. I was wondering what happened there. So, if there's any way I can really describe this Warframe, it's this. Pay attention to your colors, pay attention to your elements. That's going to do you in the greatest stead once you actually decide to pick up Chroma and give him a shot. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and bring this episode of Warframe Wednesday to a close. I greatly appreciate you guys coming in and checking this out. For any newcomers that are, getting into the game or just getting their hands on this Warframe, hopefully this information is helpful for you. On top of that, we're going to have info as far as all of his abilities and augments down in the description below this video once it goes up on YouTube. But until next time, y'all have yourselves a top-notch Wednesday. Stay good, neighborhood.